Alright guys, I've added a fourth video to this 3-video series because as of 2013, our school board changed the LMS a little bit. It's not a big change. Most of the stuff that you see in the other version is still in this version, but some of it's in different spots. So what I want to do over the next couple of minutes is just to wrap it up, have a little bonus video highlighting where this stuff is and in this new LMS. So for instance, one of the most important things is, first of all, calendar now is on the right hand side, and you should check the calendar every day to see what you should be doing. It'll tell you the unit we're on and the activity, and then you go to that unit and get the information, watch the video, do the homework. Now, where are those units? Because they used to be along the top. Well, now they're, let me slide up a little bit, under the menu called My Class. Now, if you press down on it, there's the drop box. That's where you hand in stuff. That's where it is now. There's a class list. That's where you can email me or email other people in your class. Content. There it is. That's the most important one. Let me click on it for a second. And this is where you go to get your stuff. So for instance, when we start learning how to program in C#, you press here, and these are all the lessons. Okay, there's activity 1, there's activity 2, etc., etc. The top two you usually don't read, and they're not really that important, but obviously content, that's the heart and soul of what everything is about. So usually you'll be downloading a file, unzipping it, okay? There'll be some notes. Some of them will be like PDF files. You should print them out. Some of them will be videos, okay? This looks like it's more than one day lesson. So here I've got the next day, and then I even remind you, hey, we're having a quiz the next day. And when you click assignment, that's where the homework is, and when you press that, it shows you a problem that I'd like you to work on. Okay? Now, as we do problems, as we do tests, assignments, whatever, I'm going to take them up. I mean, you got to know how to do them if you messed up or something after the fact. So where's all that stuff? Well, again, up here, notice my class has Dropbox, class list, content, and some other stuff. What you want to do to see like homework results is to click on links. Alright, so watch what happens when I press links. This will look a little bit different for you because I'm in obviously as a teacher as opposed to a student, but it'll basically be there. So if you notice here, these are a bunch of things. So I've categorized them, and you can see the way I've done it. I've got welcome, okay, and then getting started issues. You can look at that if you want. And then look what I've got here. Okay, so this is called video recap of homework, assignments, and tests. All right, and then I've got another category, key links, and then I've got another category, downloads. So you can get the program from here if you want. There it is, version 2008 or 2010. Here's some graphics and resources that you can use when you do some of your games later on in the course. Latest computer news and enrichment, some other neat things that you can look for there. So anyway, let me go up to the top again. So I'm looking at the grade 11 course right now. If you're wondering, if you're grade 12 students going, oh, this doesn't make any sense, this doesn't look like grade 12. I'm just doing a generic example. This is obviously for grade 11s. And that was a test we had last semester, last year, and this is when I took it up. And you'll see it when you go there. Obviously, it's not going to be active right now, so if you tried to access it right now to see how to do the quest, it wouldn't activate. Now, there's going to be homework sometimes, so look at, if you press here, this will give you the homework answers to the problems for a particular question that I gave. Problems with the input box. Math app test, another one. I take up the question. So what you see is anytime we have a test and you want to know, well, how did I get this one wrong or whatever, you want to see how to do it, I take up every single thing. For instance, let's say we have a homework question and you're not sure how to do it. Well, you could press here, and what it'll do is it'll start up a video. Now, what you're seeing is how I see it from my perspective, right? You wouldn't see this part. What you would see is, and I'll show you right now, you would see this video start up. Now, the reason it doesn't start up is because right now I have made it defaulted so that you couldn't see it. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. I'm going to press preview, and here's what you're going to see. You're going to see this thing called Adobe Connect, which has me recording the solution to a homework assignment, test, whatever. Okay, so that gives you a brief idea. Now I got to try to get out of this. Okay. All right, so anyway, let's go back to here. So that is where you're going to find answers to the homework, assignments, and things like that. Okay, so that's a little bit different than last year. Now this will get you always back to the home page, all right, where you can read everything that you need, all the information. Okay, frequently asked questions. Over the last couple of years, I have people give me questions. Sir, I don't know what you mean by this or whatever. Every once in a while, check here, because I bet you somebody else has asked that question. So, for example, there's a question on a problem they didn't get. I actually show them exactly what to do. And there's a bunch of other things throughout the course. So check frequently asked questions from time to time. Also, every day, check your email. All right. Sometimes you'll get a signal that you've had email. If you don't, just go there anyway. Check it. I will send you stuff. So here you see some email from me to you. All right, there's two versions of it here because I sent it out to the grade 11s and the grade 12s. So you see that's why it's there. And then you press it. Just make sure you read it. Sometimes there'll be an attachment like you see down here for a file that you have to load in or load up and print out or whatever. Okay, but always check your email. Last part, there's the current marks. Probably saw that in the other video. And this will display your marks throughout the course. And obviously you won't see your real name. I hide them. In a couple of weeks, once we get rolling and we have Markbook up and running, I will send each person their actual code name, and then you'll be able to look at it all semester long to see how you're doing. Okay, so there isn't a huge number of changes, but there are a couple, and the most important one was like, where's the content? I have all the things. You got to know where that is. It's in that folder now. This thing called grades actually doesn't work for us. I don't use that gradebook. Okay, I have the grades in current marks. Dropbox, that's where you hand in all your stuff. And you'll notice all the dates are on the Dropboxes, so there's nothing that's changed there. It's the same as last year. Okay, and things like, sir, how do I zip up stuff? Remember, all those are in downloads. I mention it here sometimes in the middle, but to tell you the truth, most of the stuff that you need, like programs and things like that, are now in links. And just to finish up before I wrap up this video then, so this is where you take up your homework, okay? Down here, these are where you can get downloads, so to speak. Okay, so the day plans, the programs. Later on, we're going to go code in lab in grade 11. There's that WinRAR program that lets you zip up stuff. Sometimes your programs are going to be so gigantic that you can't actually upload them to the LMS. They'll block you off. So you'll have to give me an address on the internet where you will upload it, and I'll go to that address you give me, and I'll download it from there. Okay. Other things are little sites where you can get cool pictures and things like this is a really neat one, Icon Archive. And again, this is from the perspective of a teacher, so you would jump right to this site. And whenever you're doing programs, there's all kinds of neat high definition pictures that you can get. Okay, so that's available to you anytime. Let me back up a bit. Okay, there'll be some other little programs you need that are all web-based. And then if you really, know what you're doing and you want to do some enrichment, I've got Canadian Computer Contest site there. I've got our board Programmania, which is the contest that I write for the school board, and it's like a contest you guys can enter for prizes later on. Okay, and you can look at that anytime you want. Okay, so that is a little bonus just to give you a rough idea how it looks a little bit different. Now, if you're wondering, sir, I don't have this one here, that's not for you guys. That's how I add stuff to lessons, make videos and put them in the programs and stuff like that, or change tests. You don't have that in yours. You're probably just going to have the top part. Okay, so good luck this semester. Make sure if you have any questions, you email me. Pretty straightforward to email. You can click on email right there, and you can send me an email. The other way, if you're not sure what the email address is, because I have it written down, you can click on class list, and you'll see everybody in class, and you just click on my name and send me an email. Okay, good luck, and hopefully you'll do well this semester.